Hello everyone. In this lecture we will continue with the modules. In the last lecture we have seen how to create a module. In this module we have two functions and a list, and then this module we will call in another module with the help of import statement. Then we can access the functions or any data structure. Now here when we import this name of the module, we can use as and whatever name you want to specify. Let's call it math function, MF shortcut. So import name of the module as, this can be renamed. Now when we call the function or properties, we can use this statement. So let's run this and test. And you can see I'm able to call this add function and this list. So this is another way. When we import the module, we can rename it. Now let's import in another way. There is one more method. We can use from. So from math function import. Here we can specify the name of the function or any list, dictionary, whatever data structure you want to import. So let's import add function. Now when we import this using this method, we don't have to specify here module name. We can specify only function name like this. I'll just remove this part. So you can see here from module name import add and then call this function. Let's run this. Okay, one second, here is a small mistake. So we don't have to specify anything here, directly function name. And see here. So here we can import multiple things. Let's import one more function, multiply, and I'll call this function directly with the help of name. So you can see here. Now what if these functions are already there, or we import one more module in which we have this name, this function name? So in that case this method is preferred. So let me show you one example. Here I'll create add function and I'll print total of A and B is C. Now I'll call format A, B, C. Now you can see this add function is there in this module, and then I'll write here import, then I will call add function. So which function it will call? So because it is interpreted language, it will go line by line here. So whatever statement is the closest one, it will execute from there. So you can see here it is calling sum, which is in this module, not this one. Now if this import is before here, second, now you can see this when we import the function here. Okay, after that we are defining this add different new add function, then we will call. So let's run this. Alright, here one small error. I don't have to specify here any parameter, it's a placeholder. So these values will go here and see the output. So here when we call add function, it is calling this function, not from this module. Now what if I want to call this function, this particular one? So in that case we don't have to write like this from. We can import name of the module and then as. Now here you have to specify module name dot, and here also. Now let's run this again and you can see this time it will call the function in this module. So if you have multiple modules, you import multiple import statement, and there can be two functions with the same name, and you want to call particular function, you can use this method. So you have to import name of the module, not from. Okay, or maybe in this module we have this function which has the same name. So in both the scenario we can use this method. Here it is simple, it will, because we specify the module name, it's easy to understand from where this method is called. Remember, this import statement can be written anywhere. Usually we write on the top, but here we can write anywhere. Whenever we want to import it, we can import and call the function. So you can see in this case we'll call this method function, and then because we import here, so we can use this multiply. Okay, there is one more way we can import the modules. So let's remove this part. Here instead of specifying each function name here, what we can do, we can write here from module name import this asterisk. So it means it will import everything inside this module except the functions that start with underscore. So this is least preferred method. I'll change this function and I'll start with underscore. Here you can see. Now when we import this module with this star symbol, it will import everything except these functions that start with underscore. Now let's test it. So here I'll remove this part. Okay, let's run this, and it is calling these methods, which is add. Now let's call another one, which is multiply, and you can see it's throwing an error. So it's unresolved reference, because here I am using import and then this star. But here if I specify, okay, let's do one thing. I'll import math function as this. So this way it will work. We can call these two functions because it's returning, so I have to print it. And see here. But when we use this method, these functions will not work. This function which start with underscore. But remember, this is a least preferred method. We don't usually write this. So this is the best method. Or if you want to call only one or two function, we can use from module name and import that specific function name.